Hi everyone, welcome to Papa's Workshop. This is a great day. I have finally reached 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. I could not have done it without you. And to celebrate this, I'm cutting on a PVC trim board for the first time. Let's get started. Now I'm taking the white PVC trim board and I cut it to the 20 inches long that I needed it, and I left it the same width, the 7¼ inches. Then I'm just taking a Rust-Oleum spray can, and it's the gloss apple red, and I'm spraying the trim board with that. And quite frankly, I'm putting a little bit too heavy of a coat on it, but I wanted to be able to get it finished in one day. So I spray it, and I make sure that it has good coverage throughout the whole entire surface. Now, while this is drying, I'm going to go ahead and do the design work in the easel software, and then we'll come back and carve this. Hi everyone, today I'm celebrating that I have reached a 10,000 subscriber milestone. And to do that, I'm going to make my sign, and it's going to be a red sign with the white underneath it. It's going to be PVC. And this sign is going to be 20 inches by 7¼ and it's basically a ½ inch thick. I'm not worried about that part because I'm not cutting anything out. The first thing that I want to do is create a line that encompasses around the entire surface of the material. So I want to go ahead and create the shape, and the shape of this is going to be 19 inches, and it's going to be, because this is 7¼ I want the height of this to be 6¼ So that's going to give me a ½ inch border all the way around. Next thing, I'm just going to go ahead and center this to the material, and we're going to create this as a outline, and I want to cut this, we'll cut this on path. The depth, I certainly don't need it 0.2. We'll change the depth of cut to 0.1, and there we have it. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is import in my YouTube logo. And I have that in a file from a previous video that I had done quite some time ago. So I'm just going to click on Edit and Paste, and there is the logo. So I'm going to leave that right there for now. We may need to shift it around a little bit in a moment. The next thing that I want to do is create the text. And I'm going to come down to this text right here. I think that's going to look good. And I'm going to type in subscribers, and I'm going to have that in all caps. Okay, there we have that. And I'm definitely going to highlight this and slide this over right about into this area. And the next thing is I am celebrating the 10,000 subscribers. So we're going to select the same font, and I'm going to type in 10, and we got to get rid of the T. Okay, we're going to blow this up quite a bit bigger. We're going to rotate that. And I wanted to be able to make it a little bit wider as well. Okay, and this is just making it where it looks good for the space. All right, there we go. And then the next thing, I need the K. So we're going to bring that up into here. So we have a clean space to work. I'm going to type in the K. And that K is going to get larger as well. And we're going to bring it right down into this space. And we can make that a little bit bigger. That looks pretty good. We'll make it a little wider. Alright, and there we have the sign. And then over here, we can take a look at the preview. This is what the sign is going to look like. Now we are going to be doing this in two-stage carving, because what I want to have happen is I want this YouTube area to be able to cut out first so it has a nice flat bottom on it, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of it with a 90-degree bit. As far as the time, let's go ahead and hit simulate, and let's just see how long it's going to take to carve this. Alright, it'll take about 28 minutes to be able to do the first carving, and then come back with about another 39 minutes to finish everything off. So all I have to do now is wait for the paint to dry on the PVC, and we'll be ready to carve. Now I went ahead and used my glue and tape method to be able to hold this down, as well as the bump stops in case it does have a tendency to slide, which really don't think it will, but didn't want to take a chance. I couldn't clamp down the surface at all because the paint was still a little bit wet. So I'm really kind of pushing this, but I didn't want to wait any longer. So I'm going to start out with my 1/8 inch bit to be able to do the roughing pass. And this whole thing is a real big experiment. I know the 10K is really deep for the V cut, and I wanted to be able to test out just to see how this material would carve on both a real deep cut as well as a shallow flat bottom cut that's on the YouTube portion, and then the scriber, which is kind of an in-between distance. Now the first thing I noticed, on that first pass, it made the PVC actually look pink. And I don't know if that was because the paint was still wet or if it was just bled through. So that's something I'm going to have to look at a little bit closer on my next carve. Now this 1/8 inch bit is doing a very, very effective job doing this carving, and it's leaving it very clean. Now I've switched over to the Vbit and looking and see how it's carving this deep into the number 10, and it looks extremely good. As it moves over to the U on YouTube, there's a whole section there that is flat, and it has done an excellent job of creating the bevel that goes from the red down into the bottom of the U, and it really looks great. There is no cleanup necessary on this. The Vbit has done an excellent job going around each of the letters to make them very crisp and sharp. This has been a great experiment, but I want to point out before somebody else says it, I could go very, very shallow on this. That's really all that's necessary. Now I want to get a real good close-up on this for you. And you can see on subscribers, there's a little bit of paint that has bled over into the white letters. And quite frankly, I really believe that this is where the paint was actually still wet and the bit just picked that up. So I really don't think that is a flaw with the bit or with the detail of the design. I think that is my own error on trying to rush the paint that was still wet. Because if you look over at the YouTube, you can see that is actually very, very crisp, sharp, and it has a little bit, a tiny bit of the bleed over of that red paint, but not much at all. Again, this was a big experiment, cutting very deep into the material. And quite frankly, on my next sign, I'm going to do this on a very shallow cut, because really all you're looking for is the contrast between the two colors. This was a lot of fun to do. There's absolutely no cleanup. The carving's done, sign's done. Thank you for watching the video today, and thank you for helping me reach the 10,000 subscriber goal that I had set. That is a huge accomplishment, and I couldn't have done it without you. And if you liked the video today, please hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell next to it so that you'll be notified on the different videos that I upload, because I have a lot of different videos planned for the near future. Also, down below in the description, I also have the affiliate links on the different types of tools and products that I use in my shops. So please feel free to support my channel and help me continue being able to provide these videos to you. So again, thank you for watching the videos today.